Pitch Correct allows us to quickly adjust the pitch of monophonic material, like vocals. It's great for those times when a vocalist is just slightly off pitch but gave a great performance. Let me show you how it works. I've got a vocal line that's in need of some serious pitch correction. Let's listen to it.
Baby, well, baby, you ready to...
Yikes, that sounds bad. In fairness to the vocalist, I had to edit multiple takes together to make it sound this off pitch. I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just trying to make a good example project for you to work with. Now let's add Pitch Correct to one of the track inserts. As you can see, there aren't many buttons or controls. Pitch Correct is really easy to use. Before we start correcting the pitch, there are a few things we need to set up here on the right. To start, we can optimize the plugin to work best with the source material. Let's select female since it's a woman's voice. Beside that, we can choose whether or not to preserve the formant. Formant refers to the acoustic resonance that we produce when we sing. Preserving the formants means that the formant will stay the same even if the pitch changes. If we don't preserve them and the pitch goes up, our singer is going to sound like Mickey Mouse. If that's the effect you're going for, then by all means turn it off. In fact, there are presets included with Pitch Correct that are great for achieving that specific effect. We can even use this shift feature to manually move the formants up or down. Let's try it out. Turn formants off and play with the shift amount while the vocal is playing back.
Baby, well, baby, you ready to...
See what I mean? You can get some really crazy results. Since we're going for realism here, let's set this back to 0 and make sure preservation is on. Next, we need to decide what the scale source will be. In order for the plugin to have a chance of correcting it, we need to give it a reference, and that's what scale source is for. Let's start by using internal, which allows us to select the key to transpose notes within the plugin. We have 4 options here: chromatic, major, minor, and custom. Chromatic will simply move each note to the nearest semitone. This will only work if the singer is already really close, because if not, the notes might be bumped up or down to something even more incorrect. This song is in C major, so let's select major and then choose C from the drop-down here. In order for the plugin to actually do something, we need to change the speed setting here. When it's set to off, no pitch correction will be made. This essentially sets how sensitive the analysis is. We also need to set the tolerance to determine how quickly it will change the pitch. We can even transpose everything up or down by changing this value. Let's set the speed to 45 and the tolerance to around 65.
Baby, well, baby, you ready to... Baby, well, baby, you ready to...
It still isn't sounding amazing, but it's definitely better. Let's try setting these values to 100.
Baby, well, baby, you...
Wow. Well, there it is, the famous Cher effect, or perhaps the T-Pain effect, depending on what you listen to. Notice the lines in the Pitch Correct plugin here. The blue line represents the original pitch, and the orange is showing the new pitch.
Ready to...
If we select Custom as the scale source, we can actually choose the pitches that can be corrected by clicking on the keys at the bottom. This is a cool way to create a quick harmony for a part.
obey by you. Ready, ready to.
Click on the drop-down here where it says Internal. We can also define the scale by having the plugin read from a MIDI scale or from external MIDI notes, which I think is our best option. Select it. Now we have to send the plugin some MIDI data. We can of course play it in on the fly with a MIDI keyboard, but I've already got a MIDI track set up with roughly all the correct notes in it. I'll explain why they're not all perfect in a second. Click on the output of the MIDI track and set it to the Pitch Correct plugin. Now open up the plugin again and set these values to roughly 60 and 55 to start. Let's have a listen.
Baby, obey by you. Ready.
So you probably noticed that some of the notes were different than in the original. What I did was change the notes on the MIDI track to modify the singer's pitch. This can be really useful for creating a new part or a harmony on another track. Well, now you know a bit more about Pitch Correct. Have fun tweaking the notes to come up with your own melody.
Ready to.
Not bad. That's it for the Pitch Correct plugin.